Hi everyone. Today we're going to show you how to set up and test a Node.js application that we will be able to use and read the state of smart contracts read-only or call functions. So before we start, we need to ensure we have all our prerequisites in order, which will be one, API key from Morales, which you can get by creating a free account. Two, which will be a code editor such as Visual Studio Code, which we will be using today. We need to ensure that Node.js is installed on our computer, and then also we need to ensure we have a smart contract with read-only functions available. So let's jump right into it, into Visual Studio Code, and we need to ensure we have our working directory as we currently have here, contract monitor. And then we will initialize our project using npm init-y. -y will say yes to all the defaults when creating our package.json file. So once we have that, we also need to create our index.js file, which will contain our code. Alongside that, we will need to create another file called .env. This will be used to store our environment variables, such as our Morales API key. And then lastly, we need to create a file called abi.json, which will contain our ABI from our smart contract. So once we have that, we need to ensure we have all our dependencies installed. So let's do that, and we will be installing Morales and a .env. So while that is installing, let's populate our files with the necessary data. Start off with env. We will be creating a variable called API key, and we will use that to store our Morales API key. Once you have created your account, you can head over to Web3 APIs, copy it via here, back over to our .env file, and we will save it like that. Please make use of your own API key, as this API key will be discontinued for this after this video's creation. So in abi.json, we will need to have our read-only contract, our contract with read-only functions available. And then we can scroll all the way down and we can copy our ABI over here. This we will paste back into our abi.json file, and we can format it using the shortcut. If you're using Windows, Alt-Shift-F. Mac, I believe, would be Option-Shift-F, and that just makes it a little bit more readable. Not mandatory, but I just enjoy having it formatted like mentioned. So once that is done, also see our dependencies has been installed. We can go back over to our index.js file and start populating our code. So we're going to start off with importing our packages that we will be using. So firstly, we are going to be importing Morales to make sure we can make use of the API calls, and also we will be importing the .env package to make sure we can make use of our external files variables and the API's data that we can reference once we have stored that data inside API. Then next, we are going to add our asynchronous function. Let me just get it over here. So here we have our initial asynchronous function with our API call that we will be performing to Morales. This API call is called a run contract function. So in order to run this contract function, we need 4 variables that we need to pass for this call. One will be address. This address is the address of the smart contract that we are using. So back over to BSE scan, we can see this contract. is the one that we are using, 5782. Copy that, 5782. That is the contract we are using. Then for function name would be the exact function's name for the read-only function that we are going to be calling. So if you want to confirm, you can see read contract, and the function latest answer is the one, as mentioned, we are going to be looking at. You can also confirm this via the JSON API. We can search for latest answer, and then we can see exactly the same function available there. So we populate the parameter function name with the function value that we want to call, ABI, which will be the stored ABI from our file, and then the chain, which will be referencing the network that we will be connecting to. So now that we have our variable set, we need to store the price of this response in a variable that we can use to print out to our logs, so that we can ensure that we are getting this value back. So to do that, we are going to add this variable and console.log. So the BNB price, as a constant, we are storing the response from this API call, and because it is a 2JSON data format, we are going to parse it using this function. Once we have that data formatted and parsed correctly, we can now use this variable in our console.log to give us the price, the latest price pulled from that read function. So let's save that, and to run this we do index node.index.js. There we go. We can see the latest price pulled from the smart contract. So let us enhance this functionality slightly, and we are going to add a second request, which will be getting the timestamp that this response, the price for this pay has been updated. So in order to do this, we will be basically duplicating this code block over here, because we are doing the exact same function, and we are calling the exact same API call, sorry, and then the function name is the only thing that we will be needing to change, because we are still calling the same smart contract. We are just getting a slightly different response, because we are actioning a different function name. So in the smart contract, we can see the latest timestamp is another call that we can get, and that timestamp is updated when the price is updated via the contract. So latest timestamp is what we want to be using now for this API call, and because this function name is used to store the value of the function that we want to call, we are going to change this constant and to be updatable, and then once this first API call has already run, after that, before the second one runs, we are going to update the function name to a latest timestamp. So with that, we will run this first API call, get the latest answer function name, and then we will populate the function name with latest timestamp, and then we will perform this API call to get the latest timestamp as well. Because this constant needs to change to the same name, we will just reference response T with reference to the name. Once we have that all set, we can just add one more constant to just to get the timestamp from this response, right? And then we're going to format that as well using a 2JSON parser, and then display that as a proper readable to date. So once we have that in, we also need to enhance our console.log to show the latest timestamp. And to do this, we are going to just add on a new line saying that it was updated plus this timestamp that we receive from this API call. So just to reiterate, we are updating this constant to be updatable. So once this first API call has run with the value latest answer for the function name, we update the function name to latest timestamp to be able to perform another API call to get the timestamp for the price change for the previous API call. Once we have all that data formatted and parsed, we can then add it into our console.log as mentioned over here. So let's save that and let us run our node.index file again. And there we go. As we can see, we now have the latest price updated on the latest timestamp that we received from this API call. There we go. Thank you very much, guys.